What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, JoshyP, and today we're doing a first on the channel. I know I'm wearing a Flyers shirt. I know there's Eagles memorabilia in the background. Hell, I've even done Walking Dead videos before. But today we are going to talk about Sixers playoff basketball. Now, if you guys follow me on Twitter, which I highly recommend you do, and first, real quick, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched my return video, who left me comments, who's supporting me right now. I really, really appreciate all you guys for sticking with me and coming back. I know it's been a while since I did that video, but I can promise you that now that the Sixers are in the playoffs, the Flyers are in the playoffs, I'm not going to be talking Flyers hockey because I really don't know too much about hockey. And I'm not really going to be talking about Phillies baseball because I really don't know too much about baseball. Even though I played years ago, I don't really follow the sport as much as I used to, and I don't follow hockey like a lot at all. I do follow basketball and I do follow football, so those are the sports that I will be talking about. However, the Phils just beat the Rays and the Flyers just beat the Penguins 5-1. I watched both those games, so I'm starting to get into them a little bit more. But for now, we're just going to be talking about Sixers basketball. That's enough rambling. We're going to jump right into this, boys, because if you guys follow me on Twitter, like I was starting to say before, and if you don't, I really recommend you go follow me at TheJoshyP. I have been a process believer ever since its inception. I was a Hinkyite, all right? I was there. I went to games. I watched Henry Sims play. I got a Tony Roten jersey, okay? I am true process believer, and it is so relieving to finally say that it has paid off, okay? I don't think the process is necessarily complete. I believe that you could stop saying trust the process or whatever once you win a championship. But I do believe that you can consider the process a success, considering we're in the playoffs and we are a 3 seed. Now, we didn't really get the greatest opponent. The Heat are really not the greatest opponent for us. However, I'm very confident for this matchup. I am incredibly confident for this matchup. I like our players versus their players. There are a few things, though, that I really want to talk about. And, of course, the big thing, considering they play tomorrow, I know this video is out a little late, but the playoffs kind of come right after the end of the regular season. And I was at school all week, so I am making this video right now. Of course, the glaring thing that is just beaming down in the face of every Sixers fan is that Joel Embiid is going to be out for at least game one. Could be more into the series, but it is confirmed that he is out for game one. Now, this could be problematic if he is out for more than one game. However, the Sixers did continue the 16-game win streak without him. Again, another however, the end of that win streak was against a string of teams that really aren't going to do that much. I'd say the Cavs win was really big, and the Bucks win, the last game of the season, we won by 35 points. That was a big one too. And Fultz got his first triple-double, youngest player to ever do so in that game. So, and that was against the Bucks. They're the 7th or the 8th. No, they're the 7th seed, I believe. I believe it's Bucks Celtics. So yeah, they're the 7th seed. We get matched up against the Heat, and Embiid's out for game one. Who's on the Heat that's a really good center in this league? Hassan Whiteside. So we're going to have to worry about who's going to guard Whiteside. In my opinion, it's going to be a mix of Amir and Rashawn, which I don't really like. Obviously, Embiid is better than Whiteside. He's proven that in his matchups against Whiteside. He shut him out of games and took over games that they played against each other. He gets in his head, and Joel is always shit-talking and getting in the other person's head, trying to make them uneasy, and he does that to Whiteside. So we're missing that factor from him for at least one game. So that's a big factor. And with the Whiteside matchup, who's going to match up against him? In my opinion, I'd put Amir on him. And if it's not going to be Amir, then it'd be Richon, maybe Ersan, but he's not really that tall, like as tall as Whiteside, I don't think, at least. So that could be a mismatch, especially if you need to take like Ersan or someone else who could be covering someone else and put them on Whiteside. Another thing I wanted to talk about is Markelle and TJ, how they're going to rotate in and out with Ben, because we know that Markelle and Ben do not play on the floor at the same time, and for good reason. Ben kind of needs the ball in his hands. He's a facilitator, and so does Markelle. And for now, considering he has only played like 5 or 6 games like since his return at the end of the season, he's not entirely comfortable playing basketball at a 100% level, and it's going to be his first playoff games ever. Same for Ben, but Ben's been playing all season. I don't think Ben missed a game. Maybe he did. I'm not entirely sure about that one, but he's played 90% of the games or whatever. Ben's played all season long. Markelle has not, so you need Ben to take Ben will probably play 36, 40 minutes a game if I had to guess. And they don't really play well together because their playing styles are very similar, except Markelle shoots. We've seen TJ and Ben play at the same time, and we've seen TJ and Markelle play at the same time, and I think TJ rotating in and out with Markelle and Ben is probably the way that Brett is going to go, and that's probably the way that I would handle things as well. It just works better for defensive purposes as well as bringing the ball up and running the offense, because Ben can cover anyone on the court, so you could put Ben on the 3 guard and have TJ play the point, or Ben is a mismatch in any situation, whereas Markelle can't really match up against 3 guards, power forwards, and Ben can. Now I specifically want to talk about Ben, right? There's all this hype around him, and he kind of like pulled a LeBron move, which I like, because he's like, LeBron has been mentoring Ben throughout his entire NBA journey, and he's kind of following in the footsteps in terms of his social media and how he's handling himself during the playoffs. He kind of like just posted literally a white image on Instagram, and I forget exactly what the caption was, but it was something along the lines of like a 0 dark 23 thing that LeBron does. Let me just get a quick. We are rocking the 7-6 in this video, okay? We are rocking the 7-6. We're rocking almost all the Philly teams besides the Phillies in this video. So Ben is going to be locked in, right? There's all this talk about him and who's the rookie of the year, him or Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's been wearing all these shirts and shit and, whatever. Ben is the bona fide rookie of the year, okay? No rookie in the history of the NBA has really done what he's done at such a high level, right? Except maybe Oscar Robertson. He's basically Magic 2.0, in my opinion. The NBA literally put out a video of him and Magic like kind of fading in and out from like their gameplay and how similar they play and their play style. He is Magic 2.0, right? Triple-double machine. The basketball IQ of this man is through the roof. He makes these plays, and then I look back and I'm like, how did he just do that? It's insane. The man is making incredible plays at such a young age. I believe he's only 20 or 21 years old. He's pretty much my age if I were playing in the NBA. I'll be 21 in September. Granted, the man has a foot on me, a literal foot. I'm about 5'10", so he's got a foot on me playing in a man's league, I couldn't even imagine that. So that's what I'm worried about, is that he's played so well during the regular season. Will the playoff hype or seriousness of the playoffs get to him? And I think that's why Brian Colangelo brought in guys like JJ Redick, guys like Ersan, guys like Marco Belinelli. These veteran guys that have playoff experience can kind of mentor the young bloods, the young superstars of this team, Joel, Ben, Robert Covington, Dario Saric, dudes who don't have any, and I'm not calling Dario and Robert superstars. I'm calling Ben and JoJo superstars. Robert and Dario are very, very, very good starters in this league. those guys can kind of mentor them. Which brings me segueing perfectly into another topic. And I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon, but there's a few more things that I want to say. JJ Redick and Marco Bellinelli, two guys have incredible offensive potential, but lack on the defensive end. And I wonder at what point do you sacrifice the defense for the offense? Bellinelli and Redick can rein in the threes. They've been playing so well. I don't think Redick has had a better season than this, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this is one of his best seasons. And he's not like I don't want to say he's a liability on defense, but obviously he's not going to cover guys as well as Rock or Ben, or definitely not TJ. And Bellinelli, same thing goes for him. Like, Bellinelli, the first game he played, he pretty much took over as a Sixer. Like, he was making threes, like 3 in a row, 4 in a row. The dudes, these two guys, these two shooters, and the team in total and in general has been having an incredible year shooting the three at such a high rate. I wonder at what point you need to switch those guys out. If they're not producing offensively, we need to get them out for good defenders. So I don't know what that point is or whatever, but that's something for Brett Brown to figure out, which brings me into another topic. Brett Brown versus Eric Spoelstra. Okay, you have Brett Brown, Coach of the Year candidate. In my opinion, my pick for Coach of the Year. You turn a team who has, I don't remember exactly how many wins we had last year, but 2 years ago it was 10 wins, and now we have 52. That is such an incredible turnaround, and Brett Brown played such a pivotal role with this team making the playoffs. Excuse me. How can he transition to the playoffs, something he's never had to deal with as a head coach? How can he take the spotlight? And he's going up against a guy in Eric Spoelstra who has 2 NBA championships. I'm not sure. I don't believe he was the coach when Wade won his other one in Miami, but he won the 2 when the big 3 of Bosh, Wade, and LeBron were in Miami. He's a seasoned coach. He knows what he's doing. He's a very good coach in this league. And it's kind of be a chess match between him and Brett Brown, and I'm kind of worried as to how Brett is going to handle different matchups, different scenarios, inbounds plays. If we're down by 2 with 10 seconds left, drawing up plays for that, like different scenarios. I'm just worried that Brett might get outcoached. However, I do have confidence in that it could go the completely opposite direction, and Brett could be on his game, get in Eric's head, and just dominate the coaching in this series. Which brings me to my final point, my prediction. Now, Philly has home court advantage, so they'll get a majority of the games, especially the first 2. And I think that the Wells Fargo Center is going to be rocking louder than it has ever rocked. Okay, this place is going to be on fire, electric. Philly has not had a playoff basketball game in its building since 2012. That is a long time. That is 6+ years of Philly fans not being able to watch playoff basketball. The Hinkyites are going to be there. The process trusters are going to be there. The regular fans are going to be there. It is going to be so loud in that arena. I think they take the first 2. Now, Miami could take the next 2. However, I do think the Sixers steal one of them. And if my recollection of how playoff series work is correct, I believe it's 2-2-2-1. Last time I checked. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So I think the Sixers win the first 2. I think they steal one in Miami, and then I think they win again in Philly. So I think they're going to take this series 4-1. I really don't think it's going to be and I'm pretty sure playoffs. Let me double check real quick because I really don't want to have my my facts wrong. I'm pretty sure they're best of 7 series, right? If they're best of 5, my apologies. All rounds are best of 7 series, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I think the Sixers take this 1-5, and I think the one that they lose in Miami is even going to be close. I honestly just don't see anything being an issue. This game is the hottest team in the NBA right now. No one wants to play them. If Embiid comes back at a reasonable time, then it's going to be bad for Miami. So you can say, I can confidently say that the Sixers are going to take this 1-5, and I believe they're going to do it very convincingly and move on to the next round, whomever they play, and they can make a serious run at the Eastern Conference Finals and potentially even the NBA Finals. Please, guys, let me know who you think is going to win the series, what you think of the various topics I talked about. Comment down below, please. Follow me on Twitter. I'm always talking Philly sports, guys. Always, always, always talking Philly sports. If you want to subscribe for more Philadelphia sports content, please do, and give me your feedback. Leave a like on the video. Thank you guys so, so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.